And I will hit play here, maybe. All right. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I am excited to talk to you guys about the New Leader Conference. If you were on the call last night, on the Dream Team call, I talked a little bit about one of the pieces that I'll touch on more, and I shared in our group. But long story short, this thing was a total game changer. I mean, you're here with people, it's that surrounding yourself with like people. Everybody at the conference would have been a new 2-star or above. They gave the information. I think there was a little over 400 people, 450-ish, that attended the event. 87 elite, a little over 100 premier, and then the other ones were, had recently ranked advanced. But the whole point of this conference is to get coaches to elite this year. That was the goal. So every presentation, whether it was from corporate or from one of the other coaches, had a theme of something to help you get to elite. So I'm excited to kind of move forward and talk to you guys just a little bit about what I got to do. So, and this isn't on a slide in the middle because I have my top 7 takeaways, but as you can see on the bottom left, the one thing we did get to do was tour the headquarters. So if you could, the one picture, they literally have a wall that shows all the ingredients in Shakeology. But this place, I swear, if I lived out in California and needed a non-Beachbody coaching job, this place was unreal. Like, you could tell just the culture of the company that we see from a coaching aspect. It's there in the company, the corporate office as well. So there were, Shakeology rooms, and it has like every flavor and every supplement and every add-in, and there's an enormous gym that has all the TVs hooked up to Beachbody on demand. And you're actually encouraged to work out on the clock. So they don't want you to take a lunch break and go work out, but they actually want you to, use the products while you're there and share it with other people, which I was a little bit like mind blown. So as we were here, there were about 28 people from the Dream Team, a lot of girls I had never met before or had met, on the cruise or something else. But, it was an opportunity to really get to know more people. Whoops, I went the wrong way. So we were fortunate to have Melanie there because not everyone's kind of head honcho of the team was there. Melanie was there because they invite the top coach to speak. But these were girls from all different teams. We did lunch. There was full days, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of downtime too. So we were able to kind of get together and brainstorm and bounce ideas off each other. And that was probably one of the most valuable things. But the number one thing that everybody touched on, which is not something new to any of you, you've heard it before and you'll hear it again, it's Hit Success Club. But it's not just you hit Success Club. The way that you're going to rank, advance, and really build this business is that you hit Success Club, you recruit new coaches, you help them hit Success Club, and you keep doing it over and over again. There is all those formulas that go to how do you qualify for elite, and you need X amount of points in this category and X amount of points in this category, and this one comes from current year coaches and this one comes from prior 2-year coaches. Like, there's all those categories. What it boils down to is you hit Success Club every month and you help your coaches hit Success Club, and if you can continually do that and grow that number, you're going to continue to grow a business. So the one thing they talked about was an SC5 base. So if you're thinking, your base right now may be 0, it may be 1, it may be 2, but you want to think about how many coaches in your downline hit Success Club right now. And if it's 1, you want to aim to get to 2. If you have 2 coaches right now, your goal might be 4. But you want to try to double your SC base. And they really talked about doubling your SC base from last year. But regardless of wherever you are, you want to, remember Melanie saying this, like one of the first calls, if you can get 1 new person every month to hit Success Club, that you would continue to grow. Obviously, if you had 2 people in January and you got 1 new person to hit in February, you're not guaranteed that those 2 in January hit it 2 to get to 3. But hopefully that's the trend you start to develop. So if you can get, 1 or 2 in January and 2 or 3 in February, March, and then you're, 3, maybe 4 by the time you hit June, July, and you can just build and grow throughout the year, that's going to give you enough points to meet that elite category. And then with your coaches hitting Success Club, it's going to naturally fill in the other elite qualifications. So the end of the day, you hit Success Club and you help your coaches hit Success Club too. The other thing that was really hit hard on, yes, good night. I love you. Sweet dreams. Sorry. The other thing that was touched on was the team cup. So I'm sure you've seen it, whether it was, a post in your team page, my team page, on the National Wake Up Call, stuff that comes from corporate. I know I've got emails from them. You need to lead a team. And the team cup is really just a way to rally together. Yes, there's cool swag and prizes, and that's always enticing. But like, what can you do? Set goals. Not only based on the point value systems that provided by Beachbody, but think of like, where are you now? Like, you've got 5 people on your team. Did you all hit Success Club last month? If you're brand new coaches, your goal for the team cup may be just everybody hit Success Club. If you hit, SC5 last month or in January, maybe your goal is to get to SC7. Your goals, just try to do better, do more, do something that you haven't done before, and push yourself. Nobody's gonna come crashing down on you if you don't meet the goals you set, but if you don't set them, you probably won't reach them. So as you get together with your team cups or your team cup team, set goals for yourselves. Write them down, talk about them, track them. Think of something that you guys will do if you reach the goals. I know not everybody's local or on the same place, but think of a way you'll celebrate. Get on a Zoom call and cheers with your virtual wine glasses. Just do something to make it fun and engaging and interesting. Get together and run a free group. I know I'm doing a free cleaning group starting on February 1st with the intent to get those people flipped to challengers throughout the month. But you might have to do a little something extra, but you're not in it alone. But it's proven that the people who are engaged in the team cup, those are the people who rank advance and build their business and grow, compared to people who don't get engaged or plugged in at all. The activity funnel, and I touched on this, I posted in our group already this morning, but this was something that really hit home for me, because I have been one to really start with the coaching opportunity. And, in my mind, I'm just planting that seed and I'm building the team. But when you think, or building my team, but when you think about when people come to you for a transformation, like if they're coming to you, like you're talking to them, you're forming that relationship with them, and they've expressed a problem that they have, whether it's their nutrition, their energy, their workouts, or lack thereof, they're sharing something with you and you have the power to help them fix it. Focus on that problem and how you have a solution for them. Before jumping right into, signing them up as a discount coach, or, inviting them to the challenge group or inviting them to the coaching opportunity, focus on them and what they need first, because they came to you or you approached them and they accepted an invitation from you to join your group. So you form your relationship, you get them into a challenge group. Your focus is create an advocate. You want that person who's plugged in that challenge group to get results, the best results they've ever got compared to anything else they've ever done. And as they get results, they are naturally going to start to share that with other people. So whether it's just that they start posting about it, they start talking about it, and they come to you and say, hey, my mom wants to buy the 21-day fix. Can you sign her up? That's when you can kind of invite them to coaching, which is an example that I had last week, where I had somebody who I met through my like page. We talked back and forth for a while. Eventually, she did ask me about Shakeology, and I answered her questions about it. Invited her to a challenge group. She wasn't ready. Invited her to a Shakeology group. Wasn't ready. Said to contact her after the holidays. So I stayed true to my word. Contacted her after the holidays. She joined a challenge group, and within like a week, she said to me, my mom wants 21-day fix. Can you sign her up the same way you helped me? And I'm like, well, I could, but have you ever considered coaching? And that's when I went in with her, where she signed up her mom and she asked me, should she be a customer or a coach? And I'm like, well, that's up to you. And she's going to get the discount for a coach. Here's a girl who's a discount coach. Initially signs up her mom. She's halfway to Emerald, and now she's in the sneak peek, a live event group that I have tonight. She would have never, if I just took that, here's a lead type thing from her, a referral, that wouldn't have opened the door for her. So, you've got to kind of treat each situation in its own. And yes, if I have somebody who's military, I'm going to sign them up with a discount from the get-go, because that's just silly not to. And not that you can't lead with the coaching opportunity. I just want you all to keep in mind, whatever it is that people have their problem and your solution to that problem, just keep that in mind and make sure that you are keeping their best interest at heart. Because if you can follow this little activity funnel, you're going to naturally build loyal customers and people who are true to the products and just want to share it with other people. Number 4 is networking. So I can't believe, but I hiked up the Runyon Canyon or Runyon Mountain, whatever it is, with a bunch of strangers, minus Lauren Penner. She was there from Forever Fit. But I didn't really want to. I'll be honest, there was a post in our little team group that said, anybody who's stuck in LA tomorrow because of the storm, let's go hiking. And I'm like, I just ignored it. And the more we talked about it, it's like, this is an opportunity. Like, there were so many things I wanted to do. There were so many presentations I wanted to put together and videos I wanted to make for my team. But this is where, like, the magic happens. Like, when you can sit and talk to these other successful coaches as to how they do this or that, or what they do in this situation, and just get some ideas from them, it's a whole different way of learning. So, now going to the events is one thing, but stepping outside your comfort zone and doing more while you're there. And, I love to sleep. I don't get a lot of it at home. I would have loved to have gone to bed early the nights that I was there, but I'm like, I'm in LA. I'm with coaches. I should network and get to know them. And then the other picture I have up here is a picture with me and Carrie Mignano, who is one of Melanie's coaches. She was a new elite coach, and her and I really got to know each other through a push group. We had never met before, but we were always on the calls together. We were kind of pushing towards the same goals. And through the group that we were in together, in combination with seeing each other at the events, like, we've become good friends. We chit chat, we talk, we bounce ideas off each other. Look at this. What do you think? But it starts with stepping outside of your comfort zone and networking with the people. So I know when you go to events and your team's there, it's a lot easier to be comfortable with the people especially if your upline's there. But I just encourage you, at the next Super Saturday that you're at, go talk to 3 new people, introduce yourself, because you never know who you might run into. It's really cool to have other people who are at your level from different teams in the organizations, because you can really share ideas and learn from one another. Number 5 is recruit with a passion. So kind of along the lines of like the discount coach that I mentioned before, you want to recruit people who want this business, who want to be here just like you do. You don't want to just recruit a warm body. That's not doing anything for you. You want people who think like you and act like you and can be excited with you. One of the quotes that I want to say Bonnie Engel shared, it was either Bonnie or Michelle Myers. She said, "We are gold mines handing out treasure maps." And that's so the truth. Like, we have an incredible opportunity in our hands. And I know if you think about a recruiting aspect, sometimes you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to feel salesy. I don't want to feel like I'm pushing people into my team." But at the same time, when someone recruited you out of college, weren't you excited and proud that they wanted you to come work for them? It was like, oh, what an honor. Like, this company wants me to be a part of their organization. Think of it the same way. Like, if you're asking somebody, even if they decline, you probably still make their day when you tell them, "Hey, you're doing a great job in the challenge group. Have you ever considered being a coach? Or have you ever thought about what I do as a coach?" Like, ask them. You never know what to think. When I had asked the one girl, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm honored. Like, I don't know if I've ever thought about it, but I appreciate you thinking of me." And it's like, you just never know. And if they say no now, it doesn't mean that they won't come back around and that they're not watching you. So when you start to get hesitant when you're recruiting and you think like, "Oh, like, I don't want to be salesy and I don't want to push this on them. I don't know if they're going to like it." Put the negative thought aside. Go in there with confidence that you have an amazing opportunity for them, that you'd be selfish if you kept it to yourself, and put it out there. And along with the recruiting is share your story and just be you. People will be attracted to you, whoever you are and why you are in this business. I think it's important to just regularly talk about it. So, if you're just recruiting bodies to fill spots and active coaches to have so that you get 8 coaches so that you can start building to diamond or whatever it is, people are going to feel that. But if you start sharing why you're doing what you're doing and what your goals are, like, Maybe your goal is to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe your goal is to pay off your student loans. Maybe your goal is just to have extra fun money so that you can go splurge on yourself. Whatever it is, talk about it and be upfront and honest about it, and talk in the future. Like, this is why I'm working so hard, and this is why I'm going to sleep, or I'm going to give up my sleep so that I can plug away. Like, share your story. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing, but the more you share it and talk to it, people are going to be like, that's why she's doing it. Like, she's not just taking a picture of herself after her workout every morning to say that she worked out. There's more behind it. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And if you can just share that more frequently, people are going to be drawn more to you and your story and want to be a part of what you have to offer. Number 6. I can't read my thing, but I know it was, I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what I titled this, but find out what makes you different. You know, there's something about you that makes you stand out. When we were taking these signs in front of Beachbody headquarters, you know what everybody did? They stood with their hands on their hips. So with their hands on their hips, and they smiled. And I think somebody maybe flipped the other direction. I'm like, I don't want to stand in front of the Beachbody sign with my hands on my hips and smile. I can stand with my hands on my hips and smile anywhere that I go. So I jumped because it's exciting. I was happy to be there, and I feel that I have an amazing opportunity in my hands, and I want to share it. So I jumped. And I think it's just important to, like, don't watch what everyone else does and think you have to build your business like them, or you have to post the same way they post, or you have to post the way your upline posts, or you have to do, your why has to be more in line with someone else's. This is your business. Your business you're going to grow with passion, heart, and hustle if you are true to yourself and share it with everyone else. So don't feel that you have to fit some mold. It's whatever you have to offer is what's going to make somebody pick you over somebody else, and be proud of what you have because it makes you you. Last one, do not be a collector of information. You're going to hear stuff. I have all these recordings that I'm sorting through. I will share them with you. You'll get what I got in 24 hours of sitting through this training. It's a lot of information. It's easy to soak it all in and then be like, I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to do this training and that training and this one. I'm going to take her idea for recruiting, and I'm going to take her idea for running challenge groups, and I'm going to do this one with my team. And I'm like, if you take everything, you're going to go and overload, and chances are you will do nothing. So take everything that you hear and pull something out. What stood out to you? What do you think you could implement today that's going to make the greatest impact on your business? And do that. Keep a tally. Keep like a master to-do list of all the things that you want to do to help build your business. But as you sit through, you know, if you listen to the recordings that I share from the leadership conference, and you're tuning in on Monday nights to the Dream Team call, and you're tuning into your uplines call, and you're tuning into, you know, your upline call on Forever Fit, and you're tuning into all these calls, you're going to get overwhelmed because we are a unique team. It's one thing I've learned. A lot of teams don't do calls like we do. They don't do push groups like we do. There's coaches I talk to that, they got to 2-star and 3-star and 4-star and 5-star on their own, building this business themselves, you know, searching YouTube videos online. But people don't have the calls we have. You know, when people found out that Melanie did this diamond call for her entire downline every Wednesday morning, people were like, oh my gosh, like, you're in Melanie Mitchell's downline, and they were just like jaw dropped, like, what is it like? And as I talked to people, especially when we did that hike on Saturday, I was amazed at how many people don't have support. And even if they have an upline who's working the business, their upline isn't active or doesn't have systems to where they can give you something and say, here, go do it. Like, here's what I said, here's how I did it, this is what I wrote. Now you take it and you go do it on your own. People don't have those type of teams. And I was really shocked as we were talking to everyone, and they just don't have the resources, and their uplines are just not existent, or, you know, they signed up and they're on someone's inside weak leg and they don't know who their, one girl was like, I don't know who my upline diamond is. And we're like, no, you can see it in the back office. Like, you should be able to see your diamond, your star diamond, like there. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know who they are. I reach out to them and I can't get any response back. As bad as that sounds, like, you can't change. Like, once you're signed up as a coach, you cannot swap teams. Like, that's just a no-no. So people are essentially just stuck the way they are. And it's not, I mean, Lindsay Mountway always says how she built her, she didn't have an upline. She clearly did just fine without an upline, and you don't need it. but realize what you have at your fingertips. We have trainings on top of trainings. There are call archives for anything that you could possibly think of to ask, or anything that you could want to know. You can look at any of the team recording the team recording pages, the team recordings within the different team pages for different topics. A lot of people don't have that. So as you soak in this information and continue to learn different information on all the calls that we have, I just encourage you to pick something and take action. And if you have a lot of fire and there's other things you want to do, write them down, make a list, and then take action, because we have an incredible opportunity. We can affect a lot of people in this world, but you have to get going. So I hope that helped. I can stop the screen share. Does anyone have any questions? I see a chat. Let me look. Very common in Canada. Yeah. I was just surprised at how many people just don't have coaches. So, well, I don't have one. I'm like, how do you not have a coach? It's unfortunate, but.
Yeah. Whenever I first started.
Oh, sorry. There, I'm good now. Okay. My thing mutes as soon as I start a call. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Whenever I first started, it was a girl through Canada that I hadn't really signed up as a coach or anything. I just wanted to see what it was all about. So I reached out to her asking, hey, are you looking for coaches? What's going on? She ignored my message for 3 weeks. Really? So that's whenever I went searching and found Sarah online.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just now, like, seeing everything, I'm like, why in the world? Like, it was a great opportunity for her to have somebody just like literally just out of the blue be like, hey, I want to sign up as a coach.
Yeah.
And she did not have any support, but it's because she doesn't have any support either.
People like they were asking me, they were like drilling me with questions. We took an Uber when we went to hike on Saturday, and they're like, well, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And what do you do with this? And what do you do with that? And like, they just have total, even like one of the girls that was with me, she's in the Dream Team downline, but she's like, a coach of a coach who doesn't work of a coach who doesn't work of a coach who doesn't work. She doesn't have zero support, but she doesn't have, the support we have. We're coming, you guys are either on my team or on Sarah's. So you have us as uplines who are actively working the business. And then we have Deidre, who has a very successful business. And then we have Melanie. So like, there's totally different styles, totally different people, tons of information. Like, you can't ask for more. I don't think, in my opinion.
I started in the very end of November. So it was like the last weekend of November. And so I'm doing my challenge groups now. And my challenge group, I'm on the first one. I'm going into my seconds in the next week or so. And because most of my group tends to be in their 40s, like, to 40s to 50. It feels like a little different in that people are more cautious when they're older. I mean, that just happens, right? They're more cautious about what they spend their money on. They're more cautious about just everything, the decisions they make. They're maybe more financially set in their ways and what they're doing in their life. So I can honestly tell you, I have not approached anyone to ask them to coach yet, because I feel like I need more time with them first. You know what I mean? So I'm going a little slower in that regard. I haven't said, do you want to be a working coach? Even the people that I have signed as discount coaches, I will be asking some of them soon, the ones that I feel that are active with me, but I don't want to rush that, because I feel like I don't want to move too quickly. I feel like it's a little different than when you're young moms and you're staying home. It's like an ideal market, right? Because they're looking for something to do on the side to make some cash, and that's helpful. But it's a little different when your kids are teenagers or in college. That market is a little different.
Yeah, I liked how they, kind of framed it that, get people to get results for 2 months.
Exactly.
Wait a month, give it 2 months till they're loving what they do and they've felt and made changes.
Right.
I mean, I will say, like, when I had my discount coach set up the other day, I sent her the same new coach welcome email I send everybody.
Right.
And she was interested, but she was super active in the challenge group.
Right.
She's a teacher, and I feel like teachers naturally are those type of people who want to go do it.
Right.
I don't know, just like what I've noticed.
Right.
but I just liked how they, this business was built on helping people change their lives.
Right.
It has a financial aspect to it that is incredible, but that wasn't what the point was. The point was to help people change their physical life.
And that's how I feel like I'm starting there, like really to
that's kind of
engage
what
people.
they really were kind of pushing on was, they're like, don't get me wrong, like the financial part's great and you have to share that because some people don't realize there is a financial aspect to it. So you do have to share it. You want to share it tastefully. You want to share it tactfully. But at the same time, if you can just focus on helping people make life-changing changes, then they're going to just want to tell people about it. Like a lot of people who started coaching 7 years ago, like when this whole thing started, they found P90X and just loved it and they talked about it. They just talked about it because it was a great thing. And then they thought, oh, you can actually do something with it. I did P90X before my wedding 7 years ago. I didn't know there was a coach. I remember getting an email back when I checked my email, like very randomly.
Right.
Like, I had to change my coach to Deidre because way back when I had created an account.
Right.
I think it's something worth, if you're public about it on your Facebook page about being a coach and people are having success in your challenge group, they may come to you as well. I wouldn't let a rock star challenger be committed for more than 2 months before talking to them about coaching.
Right.
Even if it's just signing up their friends and family, because that was truly me. I was just trying to get my shakes paid for, and I started with like my mom and stepmom and sister-in-law and everyone else that I could get without actually talking about it.
Right.
Don't discount that aspect of it, but still, it's
Well, then you might have a close friend that you say, like I have one close friend that I haven't talked to yet, but she would be awesome at it. You know what I mean? That you just know, and they're close enough that you can just say, hey, you would be really good at this.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm doing.
Off because I have 3 minutes before the live event starts. So Jacqueline, I saw you unmuted yourself. Either shoot me an email, comment in the team page, or send me a message or whatever you have in question, but I don't want to be late to start the other thing at 9. So thank you all very much for getting on. I appreciate it. I hope it was helpful to you. I'll post the recording and I'm working on compiling everything. I've got it all to a Dropbox, but like there's a recording for every single presentation. And then there's the slides that go along with the presentation. So I have like oodles of information. It's just a matter of downloading, saving, and getting Dropbox links for everything. So it's coming, I promise.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Have a good night.
You too.